Hey everyone, by the way, this screen isn't all you're going to see. I just need something to be able to voice record over. Before I begin on this video, I just wanted to kind of come on here and say that I've just edited it. And on the day when I filmed this, I was kind of feeling a bit more positive and trying to look for, in a bad situation, the things that are possibly good. And today I don't feel like that. Today I feel really down and I feel really kind of anxious about it and really scared. But I didn't want to focus on any of that in this video because I don't want to make anything that's really alarmist. But I did just want to kind of jump on here before I play the actual video, before I go into the actual video. I just want to come on here and say that I feel that my mood, don't know if anyone else is the same, but I feel at the moment, I've been in quarantine for over 2 weeks, and I'm finding my moods everywhere. Some days I wake up and I'm like trying to keep upbeat and I'm trying to stay busy. The next day I'll wake up and I'll feel really anxious and really depressed. Next day I'll wake up and I'll feel really angry and really frustrated. And then the next day it will be all the way back round to the beginning again. And it's just the most unprecedented, weird situation. So in this video, I was having a more positive day. I'm going to share with you the routine that I've kind of made up for myself that has been working really well, and I totally stick by that routine. But this is such a sensitive topic, and I think for anyone watching this who is feeling like me right now, which is a bit scared, it's like I don't know, it's really difficult to try and get the tone right of this video. So I'm just human like everyone else, and on this particular day I was trying to be a bit more upbeat about it, but right now I'm really not feeling it, and I just hope there's something in it for any of you watching who are just feeling completely weird about it. Anyway, going back to the more positive thing, I do have a DIY at the end of this video, which is how you can make this pearl bag handle for your bag. There are going to be a few bits and pieces you need for it, but all of them are readily available on the internet, and I've listed all of those below. And I hope, given that we've all got time on our hands, I hope that you will enjoy that. But anyway, let's talk. Hey everyone, so this is the third video for the week. Normally I only do 2, but since this situation has kicked off, I spoke to you in a video that I did, the last video that I did actually, and I said, would you like 3 videos a week, seeing as most of us are kind of like stuck at home now? And loads of you said yes. And it's been quite good for me as well, because this whole situation is unprecedented, it's scary, it's uncertain, it's everything. And I'm really grateful for YouTube right now, because it's given me something else to do in the day. It's keeping me busy, but also when I make the videos, I feel like it's like a connection to the outside world. I'm talking to those of you in different countries, and you're sharing with me how this whole thing is affecting you. And it really helps, actually, when you're in a stressful situation and you can talk to and relate to other people who are going through the same situation. It's really comforting. But also I could see lots of you in that last video helping each other out, giving each other comfort, and that's like a really nice thing. So I'm hoping this will be the same. Couple of things to say. I'm not going to be mentioning the C word because YouTube are suppressing videos at the moment that mention it, and I want as many of you as possible to see this, because I've had a lot of you, rightfully so, saying because of the situation that you are kind of like, I want more videos, but I don't want to just crash back into business as usual, not mentioning the situation. So for those of you who have said that to me, I want you to see this, hopefully. Sorry as well for the dramatic thumbnail, but because I can't mention the word, I wanted to use a visual that you guys would look at and go, right, I know what that's about. So that's why that is there. Other things to mention. Okay, so for the last 2 weeks, David and I have been at home, and at first, when this whole thing really started to take off in the UK, I didn't think it was ever going to get to this, I've got to admit. I feel isolated, I feel a bit scared. Not scared about the virus itself, more scared about the situation, the uncertainty, how long is it going to go on for. Also, the situation at the supermarkets is getting absolutely, it's already crazy, it's already ridiculous, and it's a side of people that I think initially when this kicked off, I really felt that there was a togetherness that I was seeing, where everyone had each other's backs, and it was like, oh my God, everyone, let's stick together. Are you okay? Like, stay well. And I feel that the more this is going on, the more some people are kicking into survival mode, where it's like, I'm at the supermarket and I'm going to buy whatever I need, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do. And I think that stems from fear and the unknown and that whole uncertainty, but it's really kind of adds to the anxiety, I think. But also, don't think it really needs to be done. And like the toilet roll thing, I don't understand the toilet roll. This virus does not cause diarrhea. I don't get the toilet roll thing. So that's kind of how I've been feeling, and I've filmed this video 3 times now. This is my 3rd time. I haven't filmed them all today. I filmed one 3 days ago, one a few days before that. And the reason why I keep refilming it is every time I go to edit it, things have changed so quickly since the video that I did. But not only things in the news or with the situation, things to do with how I was feeling. So when I did the video 3 days ago, I was really, I don't even get like this, but I was really depressed and I had really bad anxiety. But it wasn't anxiety about anything in particular, it was just generalized kind of panic. And I had the worst possible day with it. And I got to the end of the day and I just thought, no, like, I've got to try and take control back of my head and not let myself get really worked up over this, because I'm going to say this, and I really hope this is going to help everyone. For anyone right now who is feeling scared or alone or just like, what the heck is going on, any of those things, one day in the future, we will look back on this time and think it worked itself out, it sorted itself out. And so I'm trying to flip this whole thing on its head. I'm trying to think that in every single terrible situation that any of us will go through, if we make it through that situation, we will always get to a point in the future where we look back and think that was really bad, but it taught me something, or I made my way through it. I'm going to tell you one example that actually now it makes me laugh, but at the time it was the worst. So I was working at one particular place that was not, it was not good. And I really badly or urgently needed to leave because of stuff that was going on there. And trying to get time off for an interview was really like near impossible. And there's only so many times you can say you're going to the dentist. Anyway, on this one particular occasion, I couldn't use the dentist thing anymore, so I said, oh, I'm like ill, can I work from home? And my plan was take my phone with me, so I'm still on the phone and I'm still doing emails, get the train, go to the interview, hopefully not get found out, and then come home and just, so I was still working, but I was doing it on my phone. And I went for the interview. It was at a really big telecoms company, and I was like so excited about this job. All through the interview, I had the worst anxiety because all I could think is, am I getting phone calls right now? Am I getting emails being like, where are you? As soon as I got out of the interview, I got back on the train, and I remember sitting on the train. It was like empty because it was the middle of the day, and like the train seats had this pattern on them, and I remember staring really hard at the pattern, thinking, one day I will look back on this and this situation will be over. But in that particular moment, so while I've been in the interview, they had been phoning me. I had voice notes being like, where are you? To say that I'd given myself an upset stomach was an understatement. It was just like the pure anxiety of the situation. And now I do look back on that situation every so often, and I remember the pattern on the seat in the train, and I think I got through it. I made it through it. It was beyond terrible at the time, and I had to come up with some lame excuse as to what I'd been doing and where I'd been for an hour, but I got through it. So for all of us right now, stressing and just being like, this is awful, let's try and look at it from the benefits, and let's try and think one day we'll look back and it will be like, one way or another, it sorted itself out. So here's what I've been doing. The routine, number one, every single day I have a routine and I am military about it. I wake up at a set time. I wake up at 8 a.m. every single morning. One thing I don't let myself do, haven't even brought my phone in here. I'm not looking at my phone. The only time I pick up my phone is when I want to talk to my friends or my family. I don't let myself wake up and then lay in bed and scroll on my phone, because if I do that, I'm going to see all of the breaking news stuff that's not even that important. It's going to stress me out for the day. And also, I find once I start scrolling, I turn into a zombie and I can just be laying there for like an hour, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I set my alarm for 8 a.m. I get straight in the shower. There is no even thinking about it. I get out of the shower, I make the bed, then I get dressed, and when I'm getting dressed, I'm getting properly dressed. I'm actually putting on a nice outfit every day. I'm putting on a full face of makeup. I'm doing my hair. And I'm doing that because it's keeping me focused. I know for me personally, everyone is different, but before this situation, this is a real change in me. Before this situation, days where I was working from home, I would get up, have a shower, make the bed, but I would either go without makeup and have my hair tied up in a top knot, and I'd be wearing gym clothes, or I'd just be wearing my scruffy around the house clothes. And it has been making a really big difference to my mindset when I've been getting up and excited about what am I going to wear today, even though I'm not going anywhere. It really doesn't matter. Avoiding the news. This is the second thing that I've been doing. That I'm going to show you on my phone, wherever my phone is. This morning alone, I have had between the hours of 8 and 10, I've had 4 breaking news alerts flash up on the phone. So breaking news is when something really big has happened. Normally they don't put breaking news, they'll just put whatever it is. And I had to put the phone down and walk away from it in the end, because one of the breaking news, none of them were actually breaking news, by the way. None of it was anything of even worth being called that. And one of the articles was breaking news, like news alert, telling us that we needed to go and buy milk and freeze it and buy tinned food. And it stirred up my anxiety. And then once I calmed down, I thought, this is just so much rubbish. This is fueling everyone's panic and everyone's need to go and buy everything in the supermarket, buy things they don't even need. And then there's nothing for anyone else. It's like the media. So I'm not looking at the news. Exercise. Since I've been off, I love going for a walk, I love getting fresh air, and I do it every day because it really helps me sleep, it helps me feel better in my mind, but also it makes, I don't know, when you exercise, it just I really notice that I feel a lot more positive and happy after it. And because I haven't been able to go to the gym, I've been really increasing the amount of home fitness videos. I'm going to link some of my favourite ones below. There's one that I did yesterday, and it's low impact, there's no jumping or anything involved, but it was like, I think it's like 40 minutes long, and it's a ballerina workout, so it's how to like really tone up, define, and get long, lean looking legs without bulking up. And the music that the girl has used in the video is so calming, but also each move's really quick. So as soon as you're kind of a bit bored, it's already over and you're on to the next thing. Learning to make stuff. Let's all use this time. You know when you're sat at work or the weekend comes and you'll think to yourself, does anyone ever think, oh, do you know something? I'm either at work or I'm off work, but it's the weekend and I need to look after the kids or go and do the groceries or do any of those kind of jobs that you can't do in the week because you're at work. And there are things you want to do in your life that you've always wanted to do, whether it's learn a new language or pick up a hobby, make things, customize your clothes, but you never have the time to do it. Now is the perfect time. This is one of the most positive things that can come out of this right now. Do you know, in the UK, since this has really kicked off, the number of open university courses has gone through the roof, where people suddenly have the time to be able to do things they've always wanted to do. So if you do an open university course, you actually get a proper qualification at the end of it. You can do all of them online, and any anxiety, any stress you've got, making stuff really focuses your brain on what I'm doing right now to make this item, and it's not thinking about the wider stuff that's going on. Beauty. So beauty stuff I've been doing since I've been off. First of all, a couple of days ago, I really needed to go and get my hair done on my roots, and I couldn't get to the hairdresser because it's in central London. So my hairdresser really kindly told me the professional products that he uses on my hair, and I was able to buy them online, and I got my husband to do it. And I tell you what, the two of us have never laughed so much in our lives, because David was trying to figure out what he needed to do. I was embarrassed because I have, like, the reason why I get my roots done is I've got some grey hairs. I started growing grey when I was about 22. And I was like, I'm embarrassed, not everyone gets to see my white. I'm not even grey. In my family, because everyone's got dark hair, it just goes from dark to white really quickly. And we were just dying with laughter in the kitchen. It was the funniest thing ever, and he did a really good job. He sorted out my roots. So hair is something you can do. The second thing I've been doing, nails. So I do my own gel nails at home. And a great thing you can do to make yourself feel better when you're feeling like this is to do like self-treatments, like make a little spa at home, have a really nice bath, do face masks, do your nails, do a pedicure, do your hair if you can, exfoliate, do all of the things that make you feel good. Even though you might not be going anywhere, no one's going to see you, it makes you feel so much better. This one kind of sounds quite boring on the face of it, but having the time off has been really nice for this. And it's to do with cleaning the house, but not just cleaning the regular things that I do on a weekly basis, like the bathrooms and stuff. I mean, really sorting things out, going through all of my clothes and working out, like rotating them, and cleaning out drawers and things that have just been full of junk for years. And I've always needed to do it, but I've always had other things that have been either more exciting or I just don't have the time for it. I've already mentioned this, but it's keeping in touch with friends and family. This has been such a great time for me from that point of view. I really just feel like with people that I really care about, there's just been this real pulling together mentality, and people messaging each other, just being like, are you okay today? Or even things like, I've got some friends which I've met through YouTube who are just the loveliest people. And one of my friends that some of you know, because we've done videos together, Chanel Ambrose, I feel we talk to each other quite a bit, but it's kind of because we've both got different lives. It will be a couple of times a month, like, hey, do you want to meet for coffee, or do you want to do lunch? But the pair of us are talking to each other a lot more at the moment. It's like, hey, how are you doing? And it's really nice to have that kind of closeness, and we're both going through the same stresses and uncertainty. Oh, now this has been one of my most favourite ones to do, and it's been something that I've been meaning to do for years, and it has been sorting out my clothes. Now, my clothes, I've got a wardrobe in my bedroom, which is all the things that I wear regularly. And then in my spare room, I have a clothes rail with things that I don't wear that often. In fact, the things on that clothes rail, I would go so far as to say I probably never wear, because when I get dressed in the morning, I just grab stuff out of the wardrobe in the bedroom, because that's where all of my regular clothes are. And because I've been off work, I like working a bit, but there's not really that much to do now. Because I've been off with nothing else to do, I've been doing like online shopping, because so many brands now are doing really good promotions, like discount codes. Now, a really good example is the trousers that I'm wearing today. I was going to buy these. I can't even believe it. These are J brand, and they're in the style Maria, which is my favourite cut, because it's high-waisted, but they're really tight and elasticated, and they're a really nice length. Net-a-Porter at the moment have got 25% off, or is it 15? 15% off. And they had these on the site for 15% off. And last night, I was going to go and buy them. Now, a couple of days before I bought them, I gutted the spare room. All of the jeans that I have hanging over coat hangers on this rail, I took off. And then what I did is I've got this kind of storage unit that I did have shoes on. Got rid of all of the shoes, and I've put all of the jeans in different compartments. So one compartment's like skinny, straight cut, high-waisted, low-waisted, or whatever. Suddenly, I'm able to wear jeans that I didn't even know I owned in years. Turns out I'm so glad I didn't buy those jeans because I already own them. I went in there this morning and I was just like, oh, I think I want to wear like kind of like leather trousers today. And I pulled these out and they were J brand, and I thought, hang on a minute, what's the style name? And I looked and they're Maria, J brand. I just thought, this is the craziest thing. And also, since kind of really taking things out of my rail thing, I've found clothes from 10 years ago which I haven't worn because they kind of looked dated, but now they're back in, and it's so fun to be able to rewear stuff. So I encourage you to do that, because that can be quite a boring job, digging through old clothes and hanging it all up and making it look nice. I've even got myself, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I've even got myself a new stackable shoe cubby hole thing, which you can add to. So in the future, if I want to add to it, I can just buy they're like plastic things that clip in. I can just buy more of those to add to it. But it just lets me see visually all of the shoes and boots I've got. And it's really helped me to not buy things, because recently I'm like, oh, I don't need to buy that because I've got something that looks just like it. And that's been really helpful and really quite fun as well. And then the final thing, this is bizarre. So since all of this has been going on, David and I mentioned to each other that we noticed, although we haven't been working out as much as we used to, for both of us, we've noticed that our, like for example, our bodies have changed a bit. So my stomach for ages has been entirely flat. Before, you know, you'd like eat something or you'd be a bit bloated or whatever, and I haven't had that in 2 weeks, and neither's David. And we both figured out what it is. It's because ever since we've been stuck in the house, every day we are, particularly in the evenings, we're cooking really good healthy food. We're doing it together, and we are not eating takeaways. We haven't had a takeaway in 2 weeks, and normally we would have a takeaway on a Friday night, sometimes on a Saturday as well. And can you believe it, having a takeaway once or even just twice a week? I think it was really mucking us up in a way. And it's not to say I'm never going to have them again, but it's just been really great to be eating so healthily and so cleanly, and to not be having all that processed food has been a really good positive thing. And also it's been quite like a good togetherness thing, because you're both cooking together, and it's like, oh, what are we going to have from the literally the scraps that are in the fridge, because we it's like frozen stuff. Anyway, so that's my routine. They're the things that I've been doing to stay focused, and definitely the thing that's worked the best has been having that timetable of, this is the time I get up, this is the time I have a break, this is the time I have lunch, this is the time I finish work. And having every single night, I'm making a list of things that I need to do for the next day, so that when I wake up, I feel a bit excited about, oh, I know what the plan is today. I'm gonna show you now how to make this. Now, I'm just gonna show you this close up, so that when I explain to you the products you need, you kind of know in mind how it's all gonna fit together. So here you've got your handle, and the way that I have fixed this on is that I have used, you know, these toggles that you get on bracelets and necklaces and stuff like that. That's kind of how I'm doing it. I'm just gonna put that there. So this is what it looks like. It's on wire, so it's bendable, holds its shape. If you don't want a handle, I'm gonna tell you as we go a tip that you can do if you want this to be like, I'll show you, if you want this to be like a bag charm, so you just want something like that kind of maybe hangs down. I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, let's move this bag out of the way. First of all, you're going to need some pearls. Now, here is actually where I got mine from. So this ghastly necklace, I bought this in a charity shop a while ago, and they had a couple, and it actually comes with earrings as well. This is where I got the pearls from. So the pearls that I've used on my chain there are of something like this, and I've detached them from the necklace. The necklace that I used for that was kind of a slightly different design. All the pearls were the same size, which is why that's like that. But you know,
This would be really cool. You could even, if you've got something like this where all of your pearls aren't the same size, it kind of doesn't matter because it would also look really cool. Maybe if they were smaller to larger, or they were just a whole mix of different sizes. I think that would look really good. If you don't want to make a handle, but you want to make a charm that kind of hangs down slightly, if you have any pearl jewelry in your house, like a necklace or something like that, something you don't use, you could absolutely make something out of it. So if you don't have actual pearls like this, you can just make something and customize it. I'll show you how, so you can have it hanging down. In addition to that, you need to get yourself some wire. I have used 8mm wire on this, which is thick enough to give you structure on the handle, which is why it keeps its shape. If you want to make more of a bag charm that is flexible and hangs down, you could use like a 0.4mm or even a 0.2, which would be perfect for you. Or if you're going to do the necklace thing where you have a necklace hanging down, you don't need the wire at all. The next thing you need, and you don't need this many, I make stuff, which is why I've got so many, but you need those toggles that go on the end. This is a kit that I bought, I can't remember where from actually. I'm going to link to as much as I can below, but because I'm in the UK and you might be overseas, you might not, the links I'm giving you might not be helpful, but I'll put them there anyway. But you don't need the loop end. All you need is the T-bar end. You can buy them in packets of 2, so you don't have to buy this whole thing, by the way. So you need yourself 2 of these, some wire, pearls or beads, whatever you decide, doesn't even have to be pearls, a hot glue gun, which is optional, but I would say to do this, and you need to get yourself some pliers. Now you want the pliers that actually cut metal, not these, which are flat nose pliers, but I can't find the cutting ones at the moment. If you can't be bothered to get pliers, you can just use scissors to cut the wire, but just be careful, and you might blunt your scissors, so don't use any that are really nice. Line up your bag, and what you want to do is work out approximately the length you're going to need for it. You need to allow a good amount on each end, because you're going to bend this over in order to fix the T-bar. If I show you here, can you see? I've done a crude job of it, but you basically loop the T-bar on and then bend it back over itself. I would normally leave about 4 centimeters on each end, and I would say have the wire about that long, so probably I would take about that much. So what you're going to do, take your T-bar, bend it back on itself, so it's like that, and then twist it quite low down. Then you're going to wrap it round. You see? You will be able to do this neater than I am, because I'm trying to do it while reaching around the camera. Snip off the end of the wire that's sticking out there, and then here's where you're going to use your hot glue gun. And if you have flat nose pliers, I quite like to use them for this bit. Can you see there's like a tiny piece of metal hanging out there? So you can use these to kind of bend that back over. So once you've done this, the reason for the hot glue gun is that the bit of wire that's sticking out on the end, even if you really tuck that under with the flat nose pliers, just to make sure that you protect the leather on your bag and you also protect your fingers from being jabbed by that, I personally use a hot glue gun just to seal the end of it. So that's what that's doing, is kind of sealing it, but it also means that the last pearl you've got there, or the first pearl, doesn't butt against that metal and kind of get all scratched up. Hot glue guns, I think I paid about £4.99 for mine, and when you buy them, you normally get, these glue sticks that go on the end, and normally when you buy them, the glue sticks that you feed through the end here, you get a few with it when you buy it anyway. Then on your wire, once you've put your blob of glue there, you're going to feed all of your beads on. And then once you've put all of your pearls on, you do the exact same thing as we did there, where you bend the wire over one of your T-bars, seal it with the hot glue gun, and that is it. That's how you do it. Before I go, I just want to say again to everyone that for anyone who is nervous or fearful, we're all in this together. I really hope that this video has helped, because I think from my point of view, I'm really curious to see the people that I follow, that I love watching. even though I'm kind of just done with hearing the C word, I really am interested in knowing how it's affecting them, so I don't feel so alone with it. So I hope that this has helped you, and if you've got any video requests for the coming weeks, let me know. But stay healthy, everyone. I really hope that you and your family and your friends are healthy, and hopefully this horrible situation will be over really soon. But remember what I say, one day in the future we'll be looking back on this and it will just be something that happened in the past. So yeah, have a great rest of the day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.